Alright, guys, Season 6, Episode 2 of Peaky Blinders. This is the Tommy Shelby versus Jack Nelson's body language and also the verbal tactics that they are using. So, without any further delay, let's get started. Guys, first of all, just see that how he is swaying his shoulders. Like in every video, I say that just sway your shoulders whenever you are walking, and this is like very important. Your head should be up, you're swaying your shoulders. Let me just make you watch it again. See it. Can you see how wide his shoulders are? Like here, his hands widespread apart. He's not shrugged like most of the modern guys. He's looking straight at Jack Nelson. I know I can't just make his eye contact like in the 3D view, Joe.
Mr. Shelby.
Yes, Mr. Nelson.
Just notice that there is no modern greetings of hi, hello, how are you? They are like just straight on the point. Mr. Shelby, yes, Mr. Nelson.
I came early. I wanted to come and take a look around this beautiful church.
Just see, guys, how amazing it is. What Nelson is doing right here is that he isn't looking at Tommy while he's speaking. He is looking away from him and Tommy is behind him. And you know what the worst part could have been? That Nelson is looking away and Tommy is looking at him. This could have like mentioned a servant and a master scenario. That would have been worst case. But thank God Tommy isn't doing that. And later we'll see how Tommy counters this thing.
You're Catholic, Mr. Shelby. I hope that by suggesting we meet in church, it might make us both more cautious with lies and truth.
Well, your hope would be forlorn. There ain't no one listening here.
You don't believe in God?
No?
It was the way the Catholics are treated in my country that made me angry. Made me what I became.
Just see, guys, how slowly he turns. And if someone does this to you, like he's looking away, just don't look at him because this will just shift the power balance. And try to turn things slowly, like move deliberately, turn around slowly, take your time, and just do as if time is yours, just like Nelson is doing right here.
What made you angry?
Slowness? In anything?
Guys, just see how slowly Tommy sees at him and now he is looking away. So he's countering the tactic. Now Nelson is looking at Tommy and Tommy is looking away, saying all the stuff that he wants to do. So this is the verbal tactic that we are going to focus today and also the body language that comes by it.
I wanted to have everything already.
Two working class Catholic boys. Did they mess with you when you were small?
Just see how free Tommy is, like how slowly he's swaying his shoulders. Well, actually, Nelson's body language is actually quite great. Like he's not swaying that much, but he's portraying the alpha power. So that's like really great.
Some man in the shadows.
I carried a screwdriver and a blade. And everyone believed I had the power to lay curses.
And do you?
Yes, I do.
First man I killed was a priest.
Just see, guys, this is the important part here. When they were talking, then there was a sudden pause of around 2 to 3 seconds. No one was very hopeless. They were okay with the silence that was being filled in the conversation. And it's actually a great thing. Like if there is a conversation that is going through and then there is a pause of around 10 to 15 seconds or maybe around 5 to 6 seconds, most of us guys will be like trying to fill that gap. We would be like in a hurry, but that should not be the case. And also, Just see, they were talking about the curses, and then there was a silence, and then Nelson said, "Have you killed anyone?" Like that was a state-breaking question. This means that you are taking conversation at your own pace, at your own hand, and this is what Nelson is doing. He's trying to host the conversation. And by all this time, we can see that Tommy was answering Nelson's question. So at this point of instance, from the beginning to this point, Nelson is the Nelson has the power balance right here. Guys, this is the alpha versus alpha body language. Like in my previous videos, it was like Tommy was the alpha man and the other people were the beta man. But in this series of this video, this will be quite different. So it will be actually quite interesting to see this.
You?
A Prussian boy with green eyes. He was already underground.
When'd you last kill a man, Mr. Shelby?
Four years ago. His name was Thomas Shelby. He drank whiskey.
You want me to allow you to enter my city and deal narcotics that'll kill people?
You're dealing whiskey, Mr. Nelson.
Guys, right here it was the state breaking question. Like, just see, Nelson was asking Tommy, and then he waits for 2 seconds, and he isn't afraid to fill the gaps. So he's like waiting for 2 seconds, and then he uses the state breaking question. Just see what the state breaking question here is.
I recently read a report by the Vatican, actually, which said that...
Guys, actually, before heading to this is the worst scenario that you could be in. This is the thing that I mentioned previously. Just see how Nelson is looking at Tommy and Tommy is looking away. This is like the master and servant scenario that I was talking about. So just don't be in this trap. Just don't be in this trap. This is like the worst thing that could happen to you. Now we could see that the power balance between Nelson and Tommy is shifting to Tommy's side. This is how Tommy has counterattacked this. Like, you could learn a lot of things from Peaky Blinders, guys. This is the amazing series.
whiskey disproportionately kills more of our Catholic brothers and sisters, whereas opium is the sedative more often chosen by Protestants and atheists.
Great eye contact, guys. Just see, Nelson is looking at Tommy and Tommy is looking at Nelson. Like, this is the best eye contact. And when you have to emphasize something, you could make an eye contact and then you could roam around. Like, that creates a power or of aura. Like, it isn't very necessary to look at eye at all times. Like, if you are at interview, then it is great to have eye contact. But like, if it is a business scenario and you are just informally meeting, then you could use this tactic. Actually, this is quite seductive.
In return, there are people in England who you think I should meet?
Yes. Yes, like minds.
I'm here to buy import licenses for booze. The booze of the blue blood elite. In America, we like labels and aspiration.
Well, I have a brand of my own vodka and gin. You can add that to your portfolio.
Just see, guys, how great the shoulder swing is from Tommy. Like, it's amazing. He was swinging it back and forth, back and forth. He's doing a lot of times. Just learn from him.
I hear Shelby labels are favored by the working class.
Indeed, a fact of which I'm very proud.
I say you're a poet too?
No, only read it.
There are some people in this country who I'd like to meet.
Fascists.
Not the ones in boots and black shirts, the ones in tuxedos.
I know men who are friends of the cause. I also know men who are enemies of the cause. For many years now, I've been working closely with Winston Churchill in many different capacities. I have his trust. He's opposed to the rise of fascism. You, I believe, see it as inevitable. Well, I can give you men of influence who support your cause. I can also offer you a full report on Churchill's strategies.
All this in return for access to South Boston?
Alternatively, you can take on Churchill on your own.
Guys, this is the tactic of carrot and stick. Actually, I got a comment on Tommy Shelby's strategies. So this is the tactic that you could use if you are in a negotiation purposes. What you do is that you first give the advantage of the people you are working with, that what could they get if they work with you, and then you give them the disadvantage of what they could lose if they don't work at you. You know what we do all the time right here in this modern era? We try to have things from people, like in the negotiations we are like, what can I get from this person? But we are not willing to give. So if you are willing to give, and then alternatively, you are like, you could miss out on these things if you don't work with me. This actually works wonders because you are giving them the greed of acquiring things, and then at the same time, you are giving them the fear of losing things if they don't work with you. So, like in this case, it's the threat.
Without my intelligence, and I could sell me opium to the Jews.
You're a brave man, Mr. Shelby.
Just see how Nelson comes close and then he's trying to overpower Tommy, and Tommy is like completely unreactive. You see, when someone is coming close to you, what we do is that we step back. But we have to learn, if someone is trying to overpower us, we have to stay still at that point, and then we could give the eye contact. Like, see how intimidating eye contact it is from Tommy and from Nelson, like alpha versus alpha.
A war hero, I hear. Every war hero I ever met, they're just someone who wanted to get themselves killed.
Just see how Tommy scoffs at things, and he is like breaking the eye contact, which I think is not the greatest thing that he could do. What I think is that he could have maintained a great eye contact with Nelson, like what Nelson is doing with Tommy. That would have been very great, but it is how it is, right?
Do we have a deal, Mr. Nelson?
I'll think a great deal about what you've said.
Guys, what I want to say is that it's not very bad to not agree at something at that very particular moment, like what Nelson did. Like, it's okay to say, I'll think about it later. You don't have to be in the pressure to say yes or no. You have to take your own time. It is how alpha body language works. Yes, guys, that was it, and I hope you liked this video. And also, I have the summary for this video. So now it is the time for the summary of the video that we have learned from Tommy and Jack Nelson. First of all, always look up straight. Do swing your shoulders back and forth to display confidence. Second, do not respond to anything too quickly. Always take your time to move around and learn to be unreactive at all times. Don't overreact. Don't be over emotional, otherwise, you're fucked. Third point, learn to use the power dynamics that are moving around that people are using, and you could use them too. And use state breaking questions to move the conversation the way you want. Actually, for the state breaking questions, this video was not enough. I'm trying to make another video for a specific video for state breaking questions, so that will help you. And just listen, guys. Listening to these videos won't help you. Go to a crowded place and apply them, or go to an informal meeting and apply it to with a person. Because if you are executing, you will be mastering it. Thank you guys again for watching it, and I'll see you again.